Hello everyone, welcome to Awesome Vacuums. So today's video is going to be a very interesting review because I've never had a machine where I've been so impressed and very disappointed with at the same time. So the machine here is this Eureka suction seal self-cleaning brush roll vacuum cleaner. Now this was a machine I bought brand new back in 2018, and as far as I know, this machine has been discontinued, and probably for a good reason. So yeah, so what I'll do is I'll get the camera off the tripod, I'll give you a quick overview, show you its flaws, and then we'll end the video with some pickup tests and some just vacuuming sessions. So let's get started. Alright, so here's the Eureka suction seal self-cleaning brush roll bagless upright vacuum cleaner. So starting at the bottom here, as you can see, we have a carpet height adjustment. So you have bare floor, low pile, medium, all the way up to high pile carpet. So yeah. And then on this side, or the front here, is a nice clear window so you can see that brush roll. As you can see there, it says brush roll clean technology, which I'll show you how that works in a second. And then on this side here, as you can see, it says never loses suction. But obviously it's a bagless vacuum, so if you don't maintain it, it obviously will lose suction. And then right on this side here, it says suction seal, which is actually this piece right here, this little yellow piece. It's supposed to act as a seal, and I'll go into that a little later on as well. And moving on to the side here is the brush roll shut off. So that's a good feature. At least you can shut off this brush roll, which a lot of cheap vacuums don't have that, so that I do like. And then right here's the power button, which I'm not a huge fan of. I would rather it be somewhere at the handle somewhere rather than down here, but it is what it is. And so yeah, so now moving on to the bin here. So to remove that, you just press this little button here, pulls out, and then if you press that, as you can see, it opens, which was in frame, so I'll do that one more time. It empties out. So yeah, so there's the inside. It's a decent size, but it's not great. But that should be adequate for most jobs. And right here, it kind of gives some instructions on how to maintain it. So now moving on here, as you can see, it says washable filters. So to open that, you just pull that, comes out, and then here's your filter, which you can wash this. And then if you want to remove the cyclone from the bin, you can just pull out like that, and it pulls out. So it's not a bad cyclone, it's decent. You can obviously clean this out if you need to. Then of course you can wipe out the bin. And to put it back in, you just line up this arrow and that arrow, like so. And now that's back in. And the filter just goes back in like that. And you can see here, it does have a nice seal around here, so that's not so bad. So it does seal up pretty well. All right, and now right here is a HEPA filter. So to get access to that, just give that a little twist. That pulls out. Then you can clean that out, as you can see. Which you really should replace these filters at least once a year on your vacuum, because you can only wash these things so many times. So it's best to just replace them at least 6 months to a year, depending on how much you use your machine. So yeah, and then right down there you can see there's the motor. Now I've not used this machine very much since I've owned it, so that's why it's pretty clean in here. So yeah, then to put it back in, you just line up these 2 tabs here on that, and then lock it in place. And now we're starting to get into the negative things about this machine. Its build quality. A lot of the parts on this thing is so cheaply built. Like this, for example, you can see how easy that flexes, and it just feels so cheap. So yeah, and right here is it's where the dirt enters the bin. So yeah, and that's actually the air path diverter. So right now it's set to tools, so the air path goes down to the nozzle, but if you want to use the tools, you have to turn this over to the cleaning tools. And as you can see, what that does is it closes off the suction going here, and it sends it up to the hose. So yeah, that's called the airspeed technology, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, the first machine to have this was the Eureka SmartVac. So yeah, it's a decent system. I like that it shortens the air path. However, it's very easy to forget. I've actually forgotten a few times to do this, where I've had this set to tools, and then I realized it wasn't picking up, so I just turned it over the floor, and everything would just get into the bin. So that's one little drawback with that. So yeah, so moving on to the top here, as you can see, it says turbo equipped, which is marketing that it has the turbo brush, a very cheap turbo brush that is. This thing is just cheaply built, as you can see, and you can hear the plastic. Yeah, that's just not very good. And it does have a little wiser visor thing. So basically you just do it like that, and then you can clean like that, or you can have it this way. So yeah, as you can see there, it says stair and upholstery brush. And I do notice when I use this turbo brush, it just sounds so cheap. Like when the suction is going to it, it sometimes makes a really annoying sound. So yeah, so that's basically this machine's biggest downfall, is its build quality. It's just really bad. However, the handle itself is actually not bad. It does have a nice rubber grip, so as you can see, it feels very sturdy. And this is metal right here, so that's probably the best part of the whole machine, really. So yeah, so I already kind of talked about the tool use, but I guess I'll demonstrate it. So to use the hose, you just pull it off like that. That comes out, and then you can come over here and you have to turn it over to the cleaning tools. And now your suction is going to the hose instead of the cleaner head. And that is one other thing I am impressed with this machine, is the hose on this is actually very nice. It's a really good length, as you can see. Actually, what I'll do is just put it here and stretch it out. As you can see, it goes from there pretty much to here. So it's a decent length, and it is nice and stretchy. So yeah, however, it does come out the top here, so if you pull it hard enough, it will just fall back. And as you can see, when I did that, the extension one comes out, which it always does that. And that's another thing I really dislike, is this piece here is really loose and it falls off very easily. Actually, I'll show you. As you can see, it does not take much to just, yeah, it's very loose in there too, so it's just not a very good setup. They really should have made that a little tighter fit. So yeah, anyway, to put the tools back in, or the hose, just put it in this little slot here and it clips. And then, like I mentioned earlier, very important that you switch it back to the floor afterwards. So yeah, so speaking of the tools, I already kind of talked about this, but you get a extension wand and crevice tool. So that's not horrible. This crevice tool is pretty basic, so that's fine. However, this extension wand, as you can see, is very cheaply built. So yeah, and the last tool is this little brush thing, which, just like the bristles, it's too soft to be a upholstery tool, yet too stiff to be a proper dusting brush. But it should be fine for most things. Just don't use it on anything too delicate. And it is worth noting that this machine does use the standard 1 1/4" fitting. So as you can see, you can use all sorts of other tools if you're unhappy with the ones that are included. Actually, I'll demonstrate. So if you did want a proper dusting brush, you can always get one of these offline, and as you can see, fits on there perfectly. And I do like this, how this hose cuff is designed. It's doesn't have like a giant handle or anything like that, so it's nice for that. But you can see you can put all kinds of different tools, so that I do like. And I really wish a lot of other vacuums would have this, because you can find all sorts of different tools online and make it a lot more usable. So yeah, so because this machine really technically doesn't have a upholstery tool, and the reason I say technically is because, yeah, they give you a turbo brush, but it doesn't work very well. And they give you this thing here, which is really small and probably not adequate for most things. So I would highly recommend you get a proper upholstery tool like this. So yeah. So anyway, show you a couple other things here before we start vacuuming. So while we're over here, I guess I'll show you the cord. Now this does have a cord rewind here, so that's nice. So basically you just pull the cord out like that. And the cord's actually not bad. It's a nice rubbery material. And I think, no, there should be more in there. Hang on. Alright, and now, once you see this red line, stop pulling. Actually, I'm just gonna put it back in like that, because you don't want to pull too much out. And now, since it is a cord rewind, it does come out the bottom, but we do have a little cord clip on the top here like that. So as you can see, now it's comes off like that, and so that's not horrible. The cord is decent length. Not exactly sure on how long it is, but it should be fine for most things. So yeah, so I guess I'll show you the cord reel. So there's a little button here that you press, and it rewinds all the cord in. So it does have a decently strong cord rewind. Yeah. So the last thing I'll show you is the Brushroll, which is my other dislike. As you can see, it uses these, has one row of bristles, and it has the other row kind of nothing on there. And my biggest complaint is these little lines. They're really annoying. They leave so many little lines in the carpet. It's horrible. So yeah, but I'm assuming they did that. I'm assuming they did that for the self-clean Brushroll technology. I'm not 100% sure, which I'll show you what that is right now. So basically, if your brush roller gets tangled up in here, there's this little pedal here that you press, and when you do that, as you can see, it brings down this little blade, and then the brush roller will spin, and that will cut away the hair. So that is a cool feature, I will say. Eureka definitely had a lot of cool ideas here, but if they would just give it a better brush roll and build quality, they could have had something with this machine. So yeah, because it does have a lot of cool features. And as you can see, it has the height control wheels, which have these little rubber coated things in the middle. And the back wheels are also rubber coated, so that I really like. So again, they definitely had something with this machine, but it's a shame they didn't just make the build quality better, like I mentioned. And this right here is the suction seal, this little yellow thing, so that's supposed to seal the machine to the floor. And it has these little rubber wheels. So yeah, and now unfortunately this piece here does have a little bit of rust on it because I did store this in the attic. So yeah, and the last thing I'll show you is the rating sticker. So this is model AS3401 type A, 120 volts, 12 amps, 60 hertz. For household use only, which is pretty much the only place that you can really use this thing. I would definitely not use this or any bagless vacuum in a commercial setting. Alright, so I think I showed just about everything I can on here, so now we'll do the pickup test on carpet and hard floor. So let's do that. Alright, so I put some dirt, rice, and some salt down to see what this machine can do. So let's see what happens here. And nothing came out, so that's good. However, this crevice tool and extension wand fell out, just like it always does. So let's just take a look here. As you can see, it actually cleaned up pretty good. Yeah, it left a few pieces of salt behind, and it left this little piece of fuzz here. But for one pass, it's not done horrible, but it did leave quite a bit behind. So I guess I'll change camera angles and I'll clean the rest up, and then we'll see how it does on hard floor. Alright, so as you can see, it grooms the carpet very well, but these are the lines I was talking about. As you can see, it does leave quite a lot of them too. And I think it's from those lines in the brush roll. So yeah, so that I do not like. But overall, it did clean pretty decently. So now we'll get it into the kitchen and we'll see how it does on hard floors. Alright, so I put down some salt, rice, and Cheerios. The general stuff you'd normally spill in a kitchen. Obviously, hopefully not this much. This is just an extreme example. So let's see how well this does. So obviously I'll be using it with the brush roll off, and now I decided not to put it on the bare floor setting. I decided to put it on medium because the Cheerios might struggle with that. So we'll see what happens here. Alright, so I did have to lower it down to the bare floor setting for the smaller pieces, but it's not done too bad actually. It definitely left a little bit behind. As you can see, some stuff here didn't quite make it, but it's not horrible. So I mean, I guess it performs pretty decently. Alright, so I figured we'd try out the turbo brush on this machine. So just pull the hose out, the tool on, switch it to the tool mode. So let's see how this goes. Alright, so that actually did a little better than I expected. However, you probably heard, but when I stopped it with my hand, it did make that noise. So yeah. Alright, so I think that just about concludes the review and demonstration on this Eureka suction seal self-cleaning brush roll. So what do I think of this machine? Definitely has cool features. It performs decently. It's not great, but it's not horrible. And they definitely had some pretty cool ideas. However, the build quality just ruins it, in my opinion. So, as far as I know, they do not make this model anymore, but could be wrong on that. But if you were to come across one of these, would I recommend you pick it up? No, I wouldn't. It's just not built to last, and it's just not very well made. So yeah, so if you like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And also too, I want to thank you for 500 subscribers. I really appreciate you guys' continued support over the years. Really, really impressed that I've come so far. So yeah, so remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. Bye for now.